I slowly began uncorking a bottle. I don't know whether I was affected by the vodka or whether the bottle was wet, but all I remember is that when the cork flew up to the ceiling with a bang, my bottle slipped out of my hands and fell on the floor. Not more than a glass of the wine was spilt as I managed to catch the bottle and put my thumb over the foaming neck. "Well, may the new year bring you happiness," I said, filling 2 glasses. "Drink." My wife took her glass and fixed her frightened eyes on me. Her face was pale and wore a look of horror. "Did you drop the bottle?" she asked. "Yes, but what of that?" "It's unlucky," she said, putting down her glass and turning paler still. "It's a bad omen. It means that some misfortune will happen to us this year." "What a silly thing you are," I sighed. "You are a clever woman, and yet you talk as much nonsense as an old nurse. Drink." "God grant it is nonsense, but something is sure to happen, you'll see." She did not even sip her glass. She moved away and sank into thought. I uttered a few stale commonplaces about superstition, drank half a bottle, paced up and down, and then went out of the room. Outside there was the still frosty night in all its cold, inhospitable beauty. The moon, and 2 white fluffy clouds beside it, hung just over the station, motionless as though glued to the spot, and looked as though waiting for something. A faint, transparent light came from them and touched the white earth softly, as though afraid of wounding her modesty, and lighted up everything, the snowdrifts, the embankment. It was still. I walked along the railway embankment. "Silly woman," I thought, looking at the sky spangled with brilliant stars. Even if one admits that omens sometimes tell the truth, what evil can happen to us? The misfortunes we have endured already and which are facing us now are so great that it is difficult to imagine anything worse. What further harm can you do a fish which has been caught and fried and served up with sauce? A poplar, covered with hoar frost, looked in the bluish darkness like a giant wrapped in a shroud. It looked at me sullenly and dejectedly, as though, like me, it realized its loneliness. I stood a long while looking at it. My youth is thrown away for nothing, like a useless cigarette end, I went on musing. My parents died when I was a little child. I was expelled from the school. I was born of a noble family, but I have received neither education nor breeding, and I have no more knowledge than the humblest mechanic. I have no refuge, no relations, no friends, no work I like. I am not fitted for anything, and in the prime of my powers, I am good for nothing but to be stuffed into this little station. I have known nothing but trouble and failure all my life. What can happen worse? Red lights came into sight in the distance. A train was moving towards me. The slumbering steppe listened to the sound of it. My thoughts were so bitter that it seemed to me that I was thinking aloud, and that the moan of the telegraph wire and the rumble of the train were expressing my thoughts. What can happen worse? The loss of my wife? I wondered. Even that is not terrible. It's no good hiding it from my conscience. I don't love my wife. I married her when I was only a wretched boy. Now I am young and vigorous, and she has gone off and grown older and sillier, stuffed from her head to her heels with conventional ideas. What charm is there in her maudlin love, in her hollow chest, in her lustreless eyes? I put up with her, but I don't love her. What can happen? My youth is being wasted, as the saying is, for a pinch of snuff. Women flit before my eyes only in the carriage windows, like falling stars. Love I never had, and have not. My manhood, my courage, my power of feeling are going to ruin. Everything is being thrown away like dirt, and all my wealth here in the steppe is not worth a farthing. The train rushed past me with a roar and indifferently cast the glow of its red lights upon me. I saw it stop.